What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves,
I'm Maddie.
and we're here to talk about a couple of things tonight. We're going to go over the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. We're not going to give you an updated prediction on what we think the final score is going to be. We're going to be talking about that during the course of this week because it is fight week. It is F the Packers week, if you will. And the Packers are going down. They're going to get dominated by the Chicago Bears. I'm calling it right now. It's not even a competition anymore. Jordan Love is going to be Jordan Hate by the time this is done. AJ Dillon is going to be AJ Don'ton. It's the end. It's the end of the road. Green Bay, you have a chance to make the playoffs, or you had a chance to make a playoff. But when you win your game and you screw with the Bears, now it's over. Now Justin Fields is going to dominate. He's going to run roughshod. And what you going to do when Justin Mania runs wild on you? I think Hulk Hogan says at one point. So,
That's good.
Maddie, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm treating this as my Super Bowl. So I'm mentally preparing. I'm getting my schedule set for the game and everything. The menu ready for what I'm gonna have prepared. I'm very excited.
When we started the season off, we started against the Green Bay Packers,
I
and
was there. I was there.
everybody felt like this is the moment. Here we go. We're going to
Yeah.
do it. And the Bears came out and did not look prepared to succeed.
Yeah.
They didn't look like they were prepared for success. And that was because of, I think, one person. And I'm not going to name that person. Oh, there's
Nose
somebody in
picker.
your way. Hold on. I wish that guy would stop picking his nose. It's a gross habit. You shouldn't do that, kids. Anyway, there was one guy who I think that just really was not ready at that
Yeah.
point. Very conservative play calling, even scripting, learning the game. He was not doing very well. And there was one guy who could have done a lot better that didn't do as well as we thought. Partially, I think, because of the play calling, and partially because they were trying to force him into learning a new system. Well, it
Yeah.
seems like they've given that up, and now it's all about consistent performance and doing what works for Justin Fields. We saw a game last week where they threw down the field. They played a game that we've never seen from the Chicago Bears
Yeah. It was
for a
awesome.
consistent period of time. So, what do you think is going to happen this week? And first of all, the question is going to be number one: is Justin Fields a better quarterback than Jordan Love?
I think they're a little different, so it's kind of hard to judge. I'm biased, so of course I think he's better. I just don't think his roster was ready the first 4 weeks, and the pieces are finally coming together. But of course, I think Justin Fields is better. It's just Jordan Love has performed. We can't deny he has performed well in the past 5 weeks. I just don't like. I personally think Justin Fields is gonna live up to the pressure. I don't think Jordan Love is. He hasn't been in this situation yet, really. I mean, if they win, they go to the playoffs. They take that last seed or the seventh spot. If they lose, they're done. And I just think right now the Bears are a team that people don't want to play. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I do think that that's a team that everybody right now really wants to avoid.
Yeah, especially
And
when playoffs are on the line.
yeah, yeah,
So
I would get the sense that the way I see it is actually very simple. When I think of Justin Fields, I think of,
yes, I totally agree.
and when I think of Jordan Love,
I really hope this doesn't come back to haunt us.
and I don't think I can be any more specific than that. But let's move on because we're going to talk about a different position. And for this purpose, I'm going to bring this up on the screen here so that we can both check it out. Now, who do we like as a rusher? And we have to say this is kind of by committee at this point, really for both teams. And Justin Fields, leading receiver or the leading rusher for the Chicago Bears. But Deontay Foreman has had great runs.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert was a monster this past week. Rashawn Johnson's had some really good moments. AJ Dillon is the lead rusher for Green Bay. AJ Dillon's a very tough guy to bring down. Now, when it comes to rushing, who do you think is the better?
I just think the Bears, it's one of their weaker spots throughout the season. It hasn't been consistent, I think, but that's a lot of injury playing into it. I think our defense has really good rushing defense. I think aren't we top 5 or something? Top 2?
Well, as a rushing team, this right here will show you that the Chicago Bears are currently the number 2 overall rushing team in the league with 2,324 yards, averaging
Wow.
4.6 yards per carry and 145 yards per game, while Green Bay is at 111 yards per game and 1,781 yards. So I get the sense here that we might be in pretty good position here to have maybe we're the better rushing team. Maybe we can control the ball just a little bit better than Green Bay. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. We didn't have any turnovers last game either. No fumbles. And Herbert, he stepped up. So I don't know. I think it's great. I don't really know much about Green Bay to compare us to.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's take it a step further here, and let's go with receiving. Now, Chicago way down near the bottom of the league in receiving, and Green Bay is about middle of the pack.
yeah.
3,894 yards receiving compared to 3,270. It's really not that far off.
No. And you have to consider that Justin Fields runs the ball really well. So, of course, I think Jordan Love, he passes way more than Justin Fields does. So, those numbers for sure have that effect. But hey, with his last game, it was like night and day watching him. So, I think Luke Getsy gets a little bit of credit too for the game he called. So hopefully we can have a different performance than the first week. I just remember when I was at Soldier Field, oh my God, everyone around us was like, throw the ball, throw the ball. Like it just was, the plays were awful. Like they couldn't get anywhere. It was this way when football's supposed to be played, that way, horizontal. So
Yeah.
horizontal, lateral.
Well, sideways is lateral
Wait.
movement. Horizontal is your up and down.
Yeah. Football's supposed to be this
Horizontal
way.
was the sideways. Oh my God! Now you got me.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't. Wait, if you think about the
The same
sun, it
thing.
rises like horizontal's this way, right?
Yeah. So what you're doing, you're looking for screen passes and stuff like that. We're going up and down the field.
Yeah. Well, let's just ignore horizontal and lateral because
Yeah, we'll just go with that from now on. Anyway, so when we look at the defense now, overall defense, Green Bay does appear to have a superior defense at this point, giving up 5,500 total yards. Bears 5,000 yards. When we do this by yards, Chicago Bears are way outperforming Green Bay. So it seems like our defense is a little more stout. When it comes to passing yards per game, Chicago not as good. Have done a worse job of stopping the receivers. They've given up Green Bay 3,398 yards. The Bears have given up 3,735. Now let me tell you where it gets real good here. The number one rushing defense in the league is the Chicago Bears. And Green Bay, not even close. Green Bay comes way down here. So this is an opportunity, 2,106 yards to the Bears, 1,344. This is an opportunity for the Chicago Bears to really dominate. And then, of course, you have points here at the end, and you can see right here, Green Bay and Chicago basically kind of tied, 341 to 362.
that's not
over 20 games. It's about a point a game. So now the question is, what do you think? Who's going to win?
I mean, of course, I think the Bears are going to win. I truly think they're going to go to Lambeau and dominate. And I think as fans,
Let's remember Jordan Love is the quarterback.
Yeah. So we'll just call him Jordan Hate, like you said. But
because Jordan Love, no
one loves him. But I do think it would be really like nice and refreshing to finally see, especially with so much on the line. Like, come on, like, and it doesn't matter. Like for us, it's just more to prove for next season, So for them, they have everything on the line. Like they're going home either way, in their mindset, they're going home or they're advancing. So I don't know. I'm really nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
I am not.
Good, because I'm really nervous. I'm like crazy.
The way I look at it is this is kind of a tale of two teams. Green Bay was okay to start. I lost my light.
Oh no.
Green Bay.
It's still good.
That was.
That looks good.
Green Bay started off a lot better than they're playing right now. The Bears start off a lot worse.
But I think Jordan Love overall is playing a little bit better right now than the whole team. I think Jordan Love wasn't, fulfilling his potential. And right now, when I watched their last game, he looked really good. So
he looks like he's about to get sacked a lot.
Well, I hope so.
He looks like he's about to get smacked a lot.
Well, good.
Here's the one thing that I can guarantee you, though. Aside from victory, because I'm going to guarantee you a victory. I'm not going to tell you what the score is. We'll leave that for another video. But the one thing that I can guarantee you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, no chance whatsoever, there will not be a call for Justin Fields
Oh yeah.
for a late hit.
No.
They will not give Justin Fields the benefit of doubt
No
on
way.
any play. We're going to have to earn this victory. But here's the thing, this is not the same Chicago Bears
Hmm.
that we saw in week one. This is the Chicago Bears that everyone was afraid might show up.
Yeah.
So we're going to dominate them. We're going to beat them down. We're probably going to struggle at the start of the fourth quarter. I'm going to start being like, sending you messages like, Jesus Christ, here it goes again. It's going
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna be tweeting like I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah,
So
and we're going to feel bad. But here's the thing. I think that we learned how to close games out, or I think
yeah,
that we're learning how to close games out. And when the pressure is on Green Bay, they are ice in their veins. They know how to win in the fourth quarter, even without Aaron Rodgers. The players still know how to win. So the
yeah,
question then becomes, what are we going to do? But I think this is different. I really think this is the one where the Chicago Bears are going to shock the world, or at least shock Green Bay, and
yeah,
let them know that, hey, man, you're not going to do that stuff here anymore, bro. But let's move on. And this is the big one right here.
yeah.
This
And
is the big board in the draft. There's a man named Kool-Aid out there. And
I saw, is that the Alabama dude or is
yeah.
I
He's a
saw he
quarterback.
like declared for the draft literally like seconds after the Rose Bowl.
You see
He
that
was like,
second
I
guy
ain't
right
coming
there?
back.
That's my guy right there, Jared Verse. So 2024 big board, Chicago Bears have the number one pick. So the question of the day is, you, Maddie, are in charge of the Chicago Bears. You have to choose between Justin Fields or Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Yeah.
And if you decide to go with Justin Fields, then you're going to have to pick a player. So then the question is going to be, and by the way, right now you have the number 10 pick. So
Yeah.
we'll just say you have the number 10 pick going forward from there. So what do you do right now? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm getting the Hall of a Century, baby. I am trading that number one pick.
All
And
right.
I'm going to trade down. And, I don't really know much of who we could trade to. I saw we could possibly get like the third pick with, I'm not
The
100.
Commanders have the two pick right now.
Okay. Who is the third?
Let me pull it up for you. Draft order
The
20.
Patriots?
Now the Bears have clinched the number one overall pick. But now you have number two is the Washington Commanders.
Okay. Patriots. They really need a quarterback, I heard.
Yeah, and the Patriots are in the three spot. But the Commanders, Jacoby Brissett, I mean, like the Commanders still need to work on. They've got to get theirs fixed. They'd intended to start Jacoby Brissett over Sam Howell on Sunday before Brissett tweaked his hamstring. So that means that they're probably looking for a new beginning. It looks like they've decided Sam Howell. By the way, can I just be the one to say Sam Howell is another in a long string of Mitchell Trubisky, North Carolina quarterbacks like Drake May. I'm not confident. Same as I'm not with Caleb Williams, by the way. I'm not
Yeah.
confident that North Carolina is producing the greatest quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Sam
I
Howell did
mean,
come from North Carolina as well, but
when I saw that the other quarterback that everyone's talking about was from North Carolina, I was like, are we really going to go down that road again? Are we really going to go down that road?
so the problem with Mitchell Trubisky in that situation was they convinced themselves that he had a more tremendous upside than what he had.
Yeah.
And I do fault them for that. But what really set it off was there was no, like, you couldn't, one of the things that you're looking for is you're looking for a lot of game tape. But you only had 12 games of game tape to really see what Mitchell Trubisky could do.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it and you're saying to yourself, if you're a GM, you're saying, well, he's going to get better. Maybe he's not going to get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of that's kind of the problem that we had with Mitchell Trubisky was, we knew that he was okay, but was there going to be more upside to him? They thought there would be, and I guess we were just wrong. There wasn't. So and that's not a problem or a fault, by the way. Sorry, I'm doing this other computer here. That's not a fault of Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, that was just a
Yeah.
fault of the GM at the time. What was his name? Ryan something or other. Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad call making a bad decision about drafting a quarterback, and there were, I think, 3 other quarterbacks that were better, and he just took the worst one.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to Mitch Trubisky, but like it really was the worst possible of that whole draft class. And that was the second pick overall.
Mhm.
I just don't think we should make
Third.
that mistake. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong.
All
I,
right.
I just,
But here's the question. Here's the question. You're going to trade down. Who are you going to trade? You're going to trade Washington. You're going to trade New England. You're going to lose Marvin Harrison Jr. potentially
okay, but
because you got Caleb Williams. You got Drake May. Largely considered, both are going to go pretty early. You've got
okay,
3 teams up here who
then
definitely could need a quarterback.
yeah,
That's going to be Chicago, Washington, and New England. Now, if you've decided you're going to go with Justin Fields, then who are you going to trade to? First of all, who's going to offer you the better return? And what are you
yeah.
going to do as a backup if one of them says, well, you know what? We'll take Marvin Harrison.
So I don't know. I mean, like the truth is, I don't know what these teams are going to offer. I just think Marvin Harrison is going to go in the top 3. So you have to ask yourself, do you want him? But isn't this like a great wide receiving class? Like,
Yeah. So here's what I think. Here's what I think happened. What I think is if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm talking to Washington already
okay,
at the end of the season about what are your intentions, and then if they're like, well, we need a quarterback, then I would be talking to them about, look, I want Marvin Harrison Jr. I will be willing to trade you. Like you can move up here and we can give you Caleb Williams, we can give you Drake May, whichever one you want. But what we want is a little compensation in return. We're about to give you the number 1 overall draft pick.
yeah.
Now, if I'm Washington, I'm going to be asking that question like, yeah, but can I just sit here if you're going to go with Marvin Harrison Jr.? I don't have to give you anything.
That's true.
Okay. So what do I do then? Hey, Bill Belichick, listen, would you like to jump up above Washington and get your guy?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
That's so smart because also the truth is these teams, if they think that we don't need a quarterback, they're just not going to trade with us, right?
Yeah. So my move would be to reach out to both of those teams and try to
Okay.
clear the way to get Marvin Harrison Jr. with the lowest pick I can, and also to be able to stack up, a couple second round picks, maybe a couple of third or fourth round picks along the way, whatever I can get for the best possible deal. Plus, I'm still going to get my guy. If
Yeah.
my guy is not that number 1 person, then maybe I can reach down and grab something and get some additional compensation for it. So I'll give up that number 1 pick. And this becomes the question, right? How far down in this draft do you go before you're, like in big trouble? Because look, biggest needs for the Commanders, wide receiver. Biggest needs for the Patriots includes wide receiver. The number 1 biggest need for Arizona is a wide receiver. So Marvin Harrison Jr. does not go past number 4
Yeah, there's no
under
way.
any
There's no way.
circumstance. That's who they're going to take first of all. Now, if they cannot get Marvin Harrison, then you have to look at Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze. And I think most people right now, I do not favor Roma Dunze
That's
because,
the Washington guy, right?
yeah, that's the Washington guy. But here's the thing. Well, he's a big receiver who's also a burner. He's a fast guy. He's big, but he's not a guy who can get you open for a short passing game like Malik Neighbors can. Malik Neighbors runs the better routes by far.
Who's that
So
one?
Malik Neighbors is the guy from LSU.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
for my money, that is the guy that I want to have on my team. I want to have somebody who can get open and help me avoid the pass rush. So those are the guys that I'm looking for. So at the number 1 pick, I think we're trading down to either 2 or 3. I think we get Marvin Harrison Jr. and then Arizona Cardinals probably pick up Roma Dunze. Then you have the New York Giants who don't need a receiver. The Chargers don't need a receiver. The Titans could be looking at a receiver, but I think they're going to need a tackle more and a cornerback more. The Jets need an offensive tackle. They did not pick up the 5th-year option on Mekhi Becton, which makes him a free agent. They don't want to pay him $40 million. Louisville graduate, by the way. They don't want to pay him the big money. So it's possible that they're looking more for an offensive tackle. And then the Falcons are looking for a quarterback, so they might reach a little bit. And by the way, I'm going to tell you in just a few minutes why I'm not really scared about the quarterback position, even if Justin Fields just for some reason never developed. But then at the 10 pick, I'm taking another receiver unless I can get Jared Verse, The Falcons want an edge receiver. The Titans want an edge receiver. And Titans want an edge end. Chargers. So I'm taking a chance here. But
wait, which one's that verse? Which one is
the
he?
edge would be Jared Verse. That would be the defensive end.
Where's he from?
That would be where we're going to move on from Yannick Ngakoue, Florida State. Jared Verse is
Okay.
Jared Verse is actually the number 2 guy
Oh,
on this
okay.
right here.
Okay.
So I'll be looking at playing it down just a little bit, getting I want Marvin Harrison Jr. So I'm going to do what I can to get Marvin Harrison. Then I'm going to look at what can I do if I can get a second round pick, and then I see an opportunity to move up and get Malik Neighbors from somebody who I think wants Malik Neighbors. I'll make an offer to him.
Yeah.
And I'll give them the second round pick that I'm getting to move up in my draft here, and maybe get the 2 guys that I want, because then what I've got is I've got Marvin Harrison, which I think we kind of agree here, generational talent. So
Yes.
that's a bookend with DJ Moore, and Malik Neighbors is a slot guy. We can get rid of Darnell Mooney, keep Tyler Scott because he's on a cheap contract as a backup. And you're set at wide receiver for the next 4 years, no matter what. Even if DJ Moore's gone, you have a 1 and a 2 playing 1, 2, and 3. Like you've got an interchangeable group of receivers there that all have dynamic sort of potential. Yeah. So I really think that that's a great lineup, and they can get open in space and they can get open quickly. And that's been one of the bigger problems for the Bears, is being able to find a receiver who can get open quickly.
Yeah.
And that's been, like they're running downfield because that's their game. So I'm going to take what I can to get those guys. And if I can't, I want Jared Verse. I want Jared Verse on the opposite side. We move on from Yannick Ngakoue, or he becomes a backup for the moment, backing up either Montez Sweat on the left or Jared Verse on the right. And then from there, I'm looking at the second round, and I'm going to take a center. And I think I've just solved the Chicago Bears. In the 3rd or 4th round, I'm going to pick up a safety, and that safety is going to be a prospect.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go out in free agency. I'm going to grab somebody as a safety to replace Eddie Jackson. He's not worth the money that we're paying anymore.
No.
As much as we might love Eddie Jackson, he's not there's no.
What if you were to take a low contract? Would you keep him? What if you were to take a low contract? Would you keep him?
Then he's still a liability on the field.
Okay. I don't think he's good enough anymore to be on the field. It's just too much young talent out there now.
From a leadership perspective, I would want him to be here this year. I would want him to be here last year. But Tremaine and TJ Edwards have become much better than the way they started. Ooh, I need to clear my throat.
Because you're so knowledgeable in the draft, and I'm not.
Montez Sweat. I mean, these guys have stepped up.
True.
Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Johnson, which I assume we're going to re-sign. Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah, I think
we've got a lot of core components here
that
make that position. We can cover for an adequate safety. That's all you need, is an adequate. You don't need dynamic anymore. Eddie Jackson at one point was a dynamic safety. He's just not anymore. He's just not anymore. So fun. So we can move on, and when we do, we get, I think, better. And I feel the reason I have trouble with this is because I feel bad saying that about Eddie Jackson, because he's been a linchpin for this defense for so long.
Yeah.
But you move on from Eddie Jackson, and I'm done. 1st, 2nd, 3rd round. Now I'm just filling in pieces.
And the team is complete at that point. I feel like if you get rid of Justin Fields in any of this, you're gonna lose. And Ryan Poles is really big on culture and having the team together. I just think right now we're in a really good position. Everybody's all in, and if you take away the key thing, it could be a downward spiral. So I don't know. I just don't think you can move on from Justin Fields.
But you know what's going to fix that downward spiral?
What? Okay, really? Nah. Hey,
the defense loves him.
Yeah, I don't think it's just the defense. I think everyone loves him, though. I really do. I think that the locker room really has bought into what he.
Yeah, and I think, and I do hold him accountable for what happened with Justin Fields as well.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, he's turned the Bears around.
Yeah.
Even if we finish 7-10 versus 8-9, he's turned the Bears around. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
I don't know, but I think Ryan Poles knows. I'm very excited, but we got to beat Green Bay first.
I am too. Well, then I think that we'll wrap it up with this. Chicago Bears are on the path to greatness. It's just a matter of time at this
Yeah,
point. And now we just need to see it all start to come together. We need an off season of adding in a few pieces.
yeah,
And this is a playoff contender team next year.
for sure.
But first, dear the Packers, kiss my ass.
Mine
And I
too.
mean that in the nicest possible way because it's a new year and we're all very nice during the new year. So kiss my ass in the nicest way, Packers. And
Respectfully.
yeah, respectfully from Bleeves and Maddie, kiss our asses one more time. Anyway, guys, we'll talk to you very, very soon. We got another video coming very shortly. We're going to be talking about what's going to happen as the Packers get dominated by the Bears coming up soon.
Very excited.
I'm excited too. All right, guys, we'll talk to you again soon.